Hello and welcome to July's virtual meeting for GEG Iowa. We are the Iowa branch for the Google Educators Group of Iowa, and our group is essentially devoted to connecting as many educators as possible in the state and supporting each other through learning about new resources and collaborating on different things like that. On the bottom of the screen right now is the URL to our website. The link will also be in the video description. The website is bit.ly/GEG-Iowa. The GEG and the I are capitalized. Our website is your one-stop shop for everything you'll ever need to stay connected with the group, including information on our future events, how to join the email discussion group, and the agendas for our meetings. If you navigate to the website, give me a second here. If you navigate to the website, I'm going to show you just a real quick overview of the website. It's real simple. As I mentioned, the homepage has basic information about the group. And then there is a discussion board, which is simply just on a Google group. If you request to join the group, you can join us. For right now, I've mostly just been posting about upcoming events and things like that. And then the third tab has information about our upcoming meetings. The next meeting is always going to be the top. After tonight, I will update this with our next meeting, which will be in September. We will talk about that a little later on. We generally meet the third Wednesday of every month. During the summer, that is not the case, and there are a few times where, for scheduling reasons, we have to adjust. If you are on our website and you go to upcoming meetings, you can find our agenda. In that first paragraph, it says preview the resources that will be covered to follow along with us live on the Google Docs agenda. So if you click that link, it will take you to our agenda. And I'm going to real quick walk you through that as well. It's real simple. This is a running document that is used all throughout the school year. Since it's July, I have officially moved our agendas onto next school year's running document, but Google made a recent addition within the last year that you can essentially have like tabs, document tabs within a document. And so I have actually put previous year's agendas. They are all accessible through this year's agenda. So you can get to that. If you are on Google Docs, if you're looking at the document, there is an outline on the left of the document. And you simply just got to go 25, 26 agendas, 24, 25 agendas, 23, 24 agendas. We have been a group a little over 2 years now. I took over in June of 2023. And so you can access all of our previous videos. They're all available on a playlist on YouTube for those of you who are watching live. Otherwise, let's talk real quick about just some basics here. The first part of the document has a clickable table of contents, so you can learn more about the group. It talks about how you can join us live and different stuff like that, how you can subscribe to our calendar events. It has information about me, your host. So let me dive into who I am, because I am now, 5 minutes in and haven't told you who I am. So my name is Whitney Bacon. I am an instructional designer or educational technology specialist for the Iowa Educational Services for the Blind and Visually Impaired. It's a mouthful. Whenever people ask me what I do for my job, it's kind of hard to tell them, but essentially my role is like an instructional coach, a tech coach to all of our staff at our school. We are a state school. Our students go anywhere across the state, and they just qualify for our services. And then I work with all of our staff on anything that they want to learn. I train them, or if people want to find out about new tech resources, I will research them for them and stuff like that. So that is a little bit about me. I have over 10 years of experience teaching, 7.5 of which I was a classroom teacher. For middle school, I did various things in literacy and tech. I was a general ed teacher. But yeah, I have now been in this role for 3.5 years. I started in February of 2022. So that's a little bit about me. On this running document, you can leave comments at any point if you have questions, if there are suggestions of resources that you want to share. In every session, there is a section that you can either, like I said, put your comments in there. You can fill out the survey. This survey comes to my email, and I will get all those comments and things like that. But you can also comment on the document itself in this audience show and tell section. You can leave a comment. Pretty easy. Like if you are looking at the document, you just, wherever you want to leave a comment, you just highlight it and then you can leave a little comment. And when we get to that part of the meeting, I will look at if anyone, while on live or beforehand, put in their own resources to talk about. So that is a little bit about the group. As I mentioned, this document is clickable. So as we get through the school year, each month's agenda will be on here. So right now it only has July's on here because it is only currently July. And so you would click on July. It will take you to today's meeting. So today I am going to be discussing some newsletter platforms, and my top 3. I have done a lot of research over the last 2 years in trying to find a newsletter platform that fits a list of criteria for my job. Specifically in my role, I needed something that was going to be accessible to our blind and visually impaired staff. And what I have been using for the last 2 years is simply Google Docs, and then publishing the link to HTML, and then I just usually send the link to that in an email to all of our staff who have subscribed. But all of that, I have to do that manually, and it's kind of clunky, and I would prefer to have something that is all natively sent to my subscribers in their email. And so I did a deep dive and have explored like close to 10 to 12 different newsletter platforms. And I have officially decided on one, which I will talk about which one that is. But then I also have 2 other ones that I either found out about after I had officially picked mine, or I have since played around with them some more, and I really think they are worth checking out. So how my meetings usually work out is I tend to share my 3 must-have ed tech resources first. Then I always try to do some kind of bonus fun game that is really just about enrichment, or just to, kind of end the event on some kind of fun note. Then we will look at if anyone submitted any ideas that they wanted to share with the audience. And after that, we will discuss our upcoming meetings. So that is kind of how it works. One final thing to say before I dive into our first must-have resource. How I do my agendas is I like to have the resource that I'm recommending. I have a link to it always, to like the main page that you can get information about that resource. And then I always try to have a related video or a related article that I found online or different stuff like that. So today I actually have YouTube videos for each of them. I meant to update this to say video, but that is okay. They can stay as items for now. So let's dive in and talk about some of my favorite newsletter platforms. So let's talk about Kit, okay? Kit.com, KIT.com. This previously was known as ConvertKit. ConvertKit. That is the same thing. If you have previously explored ConvertKit and you have not heard of Kit, that is what this is. So this is when I was kind of saying I have gone officially with one of them. Kit is the one that I officially have decided that I will be moving forward with for next school year. And I'll kind of talk about why, and I will talk about all the different features that are included with Kit and all of that. One thing I should mention about all three main resources that I'm talking about today, they all have a free plan. All of their free plans they come with pretty extensive features, so I am incredibly impressed. There are a couple other ones that I really liked, but they were not free. There is one in particular that I really like and that our agency uses for other newsletters, and I probably could have access to it, but it costs a lot of money, and I am an educator who likes to try to find free or inexpensive resources that anybody can use, and they are simple enough to learn how to use. So let's discuss Kit a little bit. Kit, if you look at, I'm not sure if it shows all the different ways you can use it. The main way that I'm talking about using it is as someone who is just simply publishing a newsletter that they want it to send via email. A lot of creators actually use Kit for a lot of different reasons. I'm going to click on the pricing. As I mentioned, the free plan comes with a lot of stuff. So like if you have less than 10,000 subscribers, our staff only is like 130, and of those, I think only maybe like 40 of them are subscribed to my newsletter. So you shouldn't have any problem. There are some paid features that it's a little annoying that the free plan does not come with, but I have found workarounds, or it's not a deal breaker. So let us explore. So I'm already logged in, and I'm going to kind of show you what I have done so far with Kit. It is really easy to use Kit. So once you get logged into Kit, which I will not go to diving in, but essentially you would click login, and since I'm already logged in, it will automatically log me in. I have not actually officially sent my first email with this yet because I have been experimenting with all of these different platforms throughout the school year. And then this summer, I have really dived even harder. And my goal this summer was that once I picked one, I was going to start importing all of my previous publications, because this newsletter that I have been writing for our staff, I have been running for 2 school years. So I wanted to be able to have all of them available. And while we're on it, I might as well show you that I have been able to successfully import all of my previous newsletters into Kit. Some of it was a little bit of a learning curve, but it was a large project that I have worked on for months, like 6 months. So they are in a pretty good spot now. So one nice thing about Kit, and I think for the most part, all 3 of the tools I'm going to talk about have this option, but essentially it will come with a website that you will be able to have all your previous posts archived. And the thing that I really loved about Kit, so this is actually my website in Kit, where I have all of my previous publications, and my future publications will not only send to our staff's emails, but they will also be accessible on the web portal. But the really cool thing about this is, like, if I scroll and look at my different issues, because I have published 17 different issues, but you will notice that these all say they were published like each subsequent months ago, but that is not true. I like published all of them. Like I was experimenting essentially with just the first issue and the second issue for like the last year, but really just like this summer and maybe this late spring is when I started publishing each one of these. But the awesome thing with Kit is that I was able to go in and edit and like retroactively say, oh, this was published on this date. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So this like February issue, I've got my my actual publication, which I'm really zoomed in, so this looks a little obnoxious. And then does it tell me what date it was published? It just says 5 months ago. So February was 5 months ago. But I will also kind of show you exactly where you can do that. And in comparison, because if I show you guys a couple different of my publications, one thing I will say is that like it took a little bit of a learning curve to get the formatting right, because again, these were already published. And so I was trying to essentially replicate what I already had. So let me pull up, oh my gosh, I have so many windows open. I'm gonna pull up the original. So what was this? That was 16. Let's look at 16. And I have adjusted it a little bit for it to, like, it looks slightly different. So let me show you. But I still tried to get it to look as similar as I wanted. I realized if you guys look at these changes, I don't have this icon anymore. That was just so that people could submit, like, I think it was just really a graphic. It wasn't anything that was actually useful. So I'm like, let me just eliminate it. And there are some things that I, at least so far, have not figured out how to do in Kit. So if you notice, this one on the right, which actually, let me just open it in Google Docs, because it was written in Google Docs and it was originally published in Google Docs. In Google Docs, I have a table for these, the second and third article, and then between them I have a border that is dotted line. I have not figured out if you can do a dotted line in Kit. I did at least figure out that you can do borders, and you can do like I just did like a left border for the second column, so that was really nice. But yeah, another thing that I have noticed about Kit that I do not love is that you can't do like, if you see here, these I think are supposed to be bullet points. But yeah, it can be sometimes a little limiting in what certain things that you can do. But for the most part, I have found workarounds for everything, and I am satisfied with it. It fits all my other criterias of what I wanted. Everything that I have done within Kit is 100% free. I believe when you first sign up, you get a 30-day free trial to access all of the premium upgrades. But I didn't need it, and I actually tried to steer away from the things that were premium because I did not want to get, like, locked into them. There are some things that are premium that I've been, like, I really wish that I had access to them in the free version, but maybe down the road they will become free. For instance, like, there are lots of integrations, there are apps that they can do. So like, you could do things in Canva for any of you that use Canva. And then essentially it would just be like a plugin or extension that connects the two. And then you could immediately put your Canva designs in your Kit newsletters. That's not to say that you can't actually still do that. Like, you can't still design stuff in Canva, and then you would just have to download the image and then manually put it into your newsletter on kit.com. But like, and some people it may be worth upgrading. I don't think it is. Just at least not with where my current newsletter is. Maybe if I was doing this solely as my job, like if I was publishing this newsletter to everybody on the internet, then maybe it would be worth it. But to me, it is not worth it. So let's take a look at, I'm just going to kind of walk you through some of the really cool and real easy things to do on here. So I already kind of mentioned that you can build a website. It is a little limiting with the free version of what you can do. So some things that you can do is that you can, you cannot have infinite different navigation things within your website. But let's see, I think that is under, so if I go to, here one sec, I gotta remember what my control, okay, I'm zoomed in. Okay, so if I go to grow and then landing pages, I believe this is where, no, it is not. Oh, sorry. It is grow and then creator profile. So I'm going to open that. Okay. So then this is where I essentially built everything that I needed. I'm going to zoom in over here. And it was extremely easy to set up everything that I wanted. It will have you start with a template. The biggest thing I will say about this from this screen is that you can't actually preview what any of these are. It will just ask you, here one sec. It will just ask you if you click on one of these. So let me go back. So I clicked, oh no, I think it already switched. No, hold on, I want to undo because I think I actually just affected that because it just changed my color. Where is my undo? I don't know if there's an undo button. Oh, you guys can't even see what I'm talking about. But yeah, it changed my subscribe button. Hopefully that's all it changed. Okay, we'll just change it right back real quick now. Okay, well hopefully that's all it changed. Oh wait, I did not publish. So maybe if I go back, let me go back. So we're gonna go grow. Okay, there we go. Okay, so yeah, that is one complaint I have, that when you click browse templates, it will give you, this list of templates, but it's like, I have no idea what these templates are. You can see what these templates are and you can actually create templates. It's just not, the creator profile version of it, in my opinion, is not the way to do it. So, but yeah, then you can change all of like your specific color schemes and stuff like that. Another real cool thing is that you can actually set your brand colors, and I highly recommend that you do. The top two that I actually use are like the brand colors of where I work, and so I try to make those be two major accent colors that are used. Okay, so let's look at email templates. There are a lot of email templates that are included with the free plan. I believe that I can actually even click new template. Yeah, and then the starting points are kind of new. I don't, it does tell you with starting points you can save customized designs. Yeah, I don't remember the difference, but I think that I wish I would have clicked a classic template, just because I think that they don't have the starting points 100% like working the way I would want them. But essentially you can start with any of these, or if you, like me, had a already have like a template that you use because this newsletter is already established, then you can create it from HTML, which if you do not have any HTML understanding, one second, your actual essentially what I did was that I was able to download my different files as HTML files, and I actually have a template that is a Google Doc, and I downloaded that, and then I imported that into here. And if I go back to my actual template, that is what this guy is right here. This Bacon Bites template. I will open it for us. So yeah, that is what the template looks like. Right now I am editing my template. Oh, I remember what was the annoying thing about doing a starting point. I guess in the, with the free plan, there is no way for me to set a starting point as my default, which has been a little annoying. You can do that with the classics, but yeah, you can't do it with the starting points. I think just because eventually my guess is that starting points are no longer going to be free. But it's not been a big deal because when I go to create a new broadcast is what they call it. So essentially up here we've got different things that you can do. You can grow your audience, you can send your different stuff, you can automate. One thing I will say about a lot of this, and at least it's very nice that it tells you exactly which ones are a paid feature. So I cannot do recommendations, like I cannot have recommendations to other creators on my, like I can't have that integrated into the thing itself. All of the automations are paid, so you cannot do it. There are workarounds, and I have not messed with this, but like if you, the big one is Zapier, or however you say it, Zapier. But if you have heard of that platform, it is like, well, again, it has a free plan and you can run a lot of automations through it. If you want to make money off of your newsletter or offer anything, most of the options in here are included with the free plan. There is one option that is not included, and they also have a lot of tutorials. I'm a very hands-on person, so I kind of just dove right in and messed and tried to learn a lot of Kit myself. I've spent a lot of time on Kit, but that's because that is the one that is my favorite. So I'll just really quickly show you how you would actually send or at least get started. So I would go to broadcast because I'm going to write a new publication. As you guys can see in here, I actually already have all of mine because I have uploaded all of my previous ones, and I have started drafting the first one I am planning on sending come September. I've tried to redact anything that might be private, but yes, so it did take some understanding to do this, but let me show you. So we're going to do broadcasts. We're going to do a new broadcast. When I click new broadcast, then it's asking me, well, where do I want to start? What template do I want to use? And I am going to select this guy as my template. So you'll see this is where it has started, and it's simple enough. So I would just come in here and I would just say, let's pretend that, okay, Gmail tips. And then, yeah, I would change them up right here, da-da-da-da-da. And then my second one, if I wanted to get rid of certain parts, I could get rid of that. Different stuff like that. Yeah, it did take a lot of like learning how to use this initially, but you could get around that by just using one of the templates that you don't like really need to worry about changing a lot. As I mentioned, if you already have a template, you can also import the HTML, and it does work like pretty seamlessly. You can get a preview at any point of your draft. You can send a test email, and the cool thing specifically about Kit, you can put whoever, like if you want to test what is it going to look like for this subscriber, the preview is if I were to say I want to look at this as somebody else. I'm going to like, okay, what does this look like for this person? And then I can show you. So if I were to go in here, and we'll just do a test because I'll show you how you can actually change the date that it was published. So I mentioned a little earlier, I haven't sent any of these, but that's because every time that I have been retroactively publishing them, I've been choosing the option to publish to the web. Once, like my first one of the year, my September one, I will say, oh yeah, we're gonna do this. So then I'm just gonna, this time as the example, I'm just gonna publish it to the web. And then if you notice the like images I had for these, I actually designed these in Canva, which then I just downloaded the images and then I just uploaded it here. You do not have to have an image. And then once you have published it, then you can actually come back into the publish and you can edit. And then notice here, publish date, this is where I was able to retroactively. So say this was actually published on January 6th of 2025. I do that and it's already updated, if you can see. And then if I would go to my website, so since it's January, we're gonna go back. There it is, test broadcast. And there is not an image because I didn't actually do that. So yeah, that is Kit. Like I mentioned, I really like this. There was a little bit of a learning curve. I would say that the next two do not have the learning curve. And they are both pretty great. Now let's talk about my second resource. Okay, so this second resource is called Mailerlite. And I guess I should also say that, like, I'm not going to actually watch these videos. These videos are that so that you could review at a later time if you are interested in learning more. They generally do a much better job of explaining than I do, but that's okay. So if you click on the link for Mailerlite, I wonder if they deliberately chose a similar word so that people would accidentally type that in. One moment. Whew. Okay, so if you click on this, it's going to take you to the informational page about it. So something I'll say about Mailerlite is that potentially, if I would have learned about this, I may, like if I would have learned about this one before Kit, I maybe would have gone with it. However, because there seems to be more included in the free and it's a lot easier to use. The big thing I didn't really talk about with Kit that was confusing often is that there is so much going on specifically in the editor. Let me actually just show you guys real quick. Oh, of course, I don't know how to spell things. And of course, like, I don't know why I'm doing this because we don't really have time. Let's just pretend we're gonna do another one. But yeah, so say I want to edit just this column. You gotta really figure out what the heck you're doing over here on the right, because there is a lot of different settings and it's hard to keep track of where the different settings are. You don't really have that issue with Mailerlite and the third one that I'll talk about today, but also a lot of that reason is because like they're a little simpler. Like they don't have as many features as Kit does. So Kit comes with a little more of a learning curve, but that's okay. So let's discuss Mailerlite. It also has a free plan. And this one is highly regarded as one of the best. That is like the free account, and really easy to use and learn how to use. So once you log in, it is pretty simple. I don't know why this switched from dark mode to not dark mode. I am curious to find out, because the biggest thing I will say with Mailerlite, I shouldn't start with a negative, but there seems to be that there's a recent situation where you have to have verified your domain. Which, wait a second. Oh yeah, you have to authorize it. So, and I do not have access to, like, it requires you looking up the DNS records, which I don't have access to, meaning, like, I mean, it's not important to tell you, like, I don't know why I'm bother focusing on that, but, and sorry, I needed to change that to dark mode because I cannot stand light mode. But essentially, so far with Mailerlite, I have not been able to, like, here, hold on, let me actually talk about what I was going to talk about. Yeah, so when you first set it up, one of the things that I really like about Mailerlite was that it walks you through a lot of the process, and it has a lot of good tutorials for pretty much every step along the way. But one of the first steps along the way is that you have to write in what email address are you going to be sending all of these newsletters from, and it then, after that, asks for you to verify that domain. And it's not as simple as it's gonna send you an email to verify. No, it requires IT setup, essentially. I have completed I have tried to look up, is there a way that I can just do a generic one? Like, for instance, with kit.com, and with the third one that I'll tell you about, it just throws their domain on it. Like, kit.com is in, like, if you noticed my website for Kit, it has Kit in it. It's got my website that I have created for this newsletter is baconbites.kit.com, which is totally fine with me. And then I think when I have to send emails, it may have that. I cannot recall whether it's going to actually have kit.com in it or if I'm going to be able to send it as me. But at least from what I've explored with Mailerlite, that's going to cause a little bit of an issue. I'm hoping that whatever the heck I did to authorize, which I think I just skipped a lot of the steps, I'm hoping that once this process completes, which I don't know if you can see while I keep hovering over that it says that it's going to have to do 24 hours. And if I'm honest, I've just been playing around with this in the last day because I'm like, oh yeah, I need to mess with Mailerlite some more. But it, at least while we are waiting for that verification, I can still, like, mess with the templates and stuff. And so if I go to my dashboard, yeah, you'll notice here up at the top that it has that message again, your form was submitted successfully. You'll be notified within the next 24 hours. But yeah, so I'm going to go in here and then I'm going to create a template, or I'm going to look at my existing template. Sorry. One thing I'll say is that I've noticed that sometimes Mailerlite can be a little slow with just loading the template, but that's the only part that I have seen that it kind of struggles with. So this is the template that I built within Mailerlite. I'm not sure if I could have imported it. I'm curious to see if there is one new template. I might not be able to, but we might as well. Here, I'll just show you guys while we're on live. Test, or how about we'll say demo template is what we're going to call it. Save and continue. You'll notice it says landing page is a paid feature. So with this one, you cannot have a like a web version. I think there is some kind of way around it, but again, I don't really know. So I can start with a template, or I can start from scratch. I'm actually just going to start from scratch. And then this took a little getting used to, but it was way easier to understand Mailerlite's editor than Kit was. Again, Kit is way more, there's a lot more options, but that is the caveat of like why you can't do as many things with it. Yeah, so like on the left here has all these different categories for the different stuff that I can add to my template. Like as a placeholder, and then I can change it as I go. So let me take a look. So let's add, say we're going to add a headline with a button, and then I'm going to do 3 columns. And then the interesting thing is that for each of these, since I'm doing the like element version of it, or sorry, the sections of it, then I can tell it what each of these sections are going to be. So I'm going to make this first column a text column. Let's do this one is going to also be text. Then this guy, let's say this is going to be an image. So then I could put my stuff in here for that. Which we'll just leave that as is. I can then come in here and I can edit what I want, like about the font and the size and stuff. So like, or I could also do this at like the template level. If I go back, or no, here we go. So the template level, I like using Open Sans. So it's going to make everything in my Open Sans that size. We're gonna make the heading 1 is going to be like 40. Oh, of course, that's a heading 1. I want that to be a heading 2. Okay, heading 2 is going to be a little smaller. Let's go with 20. Heading 3, sure, I don't care. This link, we're going to make it the color of work, my work color. I just know that. Okie dokie, subtitle, let's, I don't know. I don't care. Okay, so that is that. We're going to switch this to heading 2. You can just straight up change what you want about the button. So maybe we want to say, check. I don't know what I would have here with the headline. Oh, maybe I'm like introducing like check out my resource file or something. I don't know. I probably would not have that many words. So yeah, the confusing thing with this is that like, say I don't want this photo, I'm like, it took me a while to figure out how to get rid of it. It's actually over here on the right with like the settings changer and stuff like that. So I'd have to come over here and turn off image. That's for this top part. Maybe I want to turn off the button because I don't want a button there. I'm gonna say this is my title. I think this will just autofill. I can change what these are gonna say. Say these will say posts. And then I would copy in my link. Oops. This does not come with like those options. Like you're gonna actually have to create a website that will host these other ones. I think there is a way to archive them, but I haven't played around with this enough to find out. We'll call this links because that's actually what I usually do. Requests for future topics. So yeah, maybe I'll just say introducing the new website. I don't know. Yeah. And then yeah. So and the again, one complaint I'd have with this one is that it can be limiting sometimes. For instance, I have not found a way to like say I want to make my image smaller, which I can do. I'm going to put it on the right. And of course, it's probably hard to see right now because it's just a placeholder. I have not figured out how to, like, say I want the first and second columns to be larger than the third column. I cannot find a way to do that. There probably is some way, and I just have not played around with this enough to find out. But yeah, that is a little bit about it. So then, yeah, I would be able to save the template. If I am ready to start my campaign, which hopefully this didn't actually log me out. Why does this keep switching? There we go. So say I want to actually start my campaign with my template. Oh, it's again going to warn me that I don't have access yet. I'm waiting for that access, which that is a little bit of a, what do you call it? A turn off or a caveat. So it's worth checking out. It's very easy to use, very easy to get started. Yeah, just the DNS or the domain situation, because I've tried to look up, can I still do this somehow? And it says you can. Like, I can do it without having information about our domain. Our domain, I know, is just the end of our email, and I've tried that, but we'll see. Anyway, I'm just going on. Let's talk about my third one, which is called Buttondown. So Buttondown, and the website for Buttondown is buttondown.com. If you go there, it will again give you some information about it. I was actually having problems with this working earlier because I think I messed up something, because I actually tried to import. I thought I was only importing one of my previous publications with like the HTML, but I accidentally did all of them, and so since then I have not been able to get back, log back in. Okay, I don't remember what the heck my password is for this. 1 second. Let's see, with demo Buttondown. Okay, copy password. Let's see if this works. If not, because I've given it some time. Okay, yay. Oh, it did. It did import these. Ooh, and because it imported, so these actually are imported from Kit, and it thinks it's those dates. So like it says 10/31/23. So sorry, I'm kind of getting ahead of myself, but so this is what it looks like when you get logged in to buttondown.com. It is extremely easy to use, to the point where it maybe is too simple for me. You can really quickly add all your subscribers. You can actually import a lot of this information. And as I was mentioning with your other emails, you can import from other websites. Of course, they don't have just like Google Docs. So that is why I actually converted them from ConvertKit, or imported them from ConvertKit. Let's take a look at one of these. So this is what it looks like, which it just imported it straight. It in my, like on Kit, that same one, if I show you the first one, it actually has like some blue and some red columns. And so I'm assuming, well, no, I do know I could come in here and edit that. But to do that, I do not, well, oh, this is because it's in HTML. To do that, I probably do have to come in here and change the color through some of the code. So Buttondown is really nice, but it, like, at least from what I have found with playing with it so far, it may benefit you to know some Markdown, which is just a type of code. But it will show you what something looks like. And so, like, since it imported all my stuff, I would want to go back and I would actually want to change some of this. I don't know what the heck I'm going to do here. We'll just say this looks fine. And then I think I would just go, I don't know what I just did. It shows you it live. That's okay. We're going to say send draft, and then I'm going to send this to my test account. That's test student. Hopefully I'm logged in. I don't think I am, actually, so I'm not going to bother. Let's send this. Actually, let's send this to my personal email. Hopefully it did not go to spam. It has not arrived yet. Wonder if it's delayed. That's okay. I'm sorry, guys. I am like completely spacing. And I spent so much time on Kit that I don't have much time to talk to you guys about Buttondown. But Buttondown is a really easy one. Like, I can start with new. With Buttondown, like if you're going to start from scratch, what's really nice is that there is a preview mode that you can literally see stuff as you're going. So say I'm going to say this is going to be, we'll just say this is the October issue. Bacon's Bites, October 2025. And then it tells you exactly what you need to do, that you need to do a / and then you can kind of see all the different stuff. It is pretty basic in the different stuff that you can do. But for those of you that want simple and just want to start writing, then it's fine. So we're going to say heading 2, and we'll say, I don't know what we could be doing in October. Okay, 3 resources. We'll just call them 3 must-have resources. Must-have resources. Blah, blah, blah. I'm going to do an image. Really cool thing about this is that you can actually find images from Unsplash. And then I think it automatically will put the attribution in there. Let's look at EdTech. What do we got for that? How about we do websites? Or maybe like digital literacy. Let's just go with this one. Okay, and then I can real easy change the size of this guy somehow. Pew, pew, pew. Big thing that I do not love about this one so far is that I can't actually find out how to do like more than one column. I suspect that this may like only be able to do one column, because again, they're trying to keep it as simple as possible. I am not sure though. But who knows? And then let's do another heading, and then check. We'll just, I don't know. I should have come up with fake stuff. Check these out. And then let's do a bulleted list. I don't know. Blah, blah. Yeah, so it shows me I can send the draft. I can also kind of see what it would look like via email or on the web, because this does have, like, it will have all of your previous publications as archives. I believe you can, in your settings, change what that website is going to be, which is going to start with buttondown.com, and then whatever you want to do. So here is mine. I can then edit and change what I want this to look like. I think that you can only have these 2. I don't think you can add like links, but you might be able to. I'm not sure. The integrations, I believe some of these integrations, or a lot of these integrations, are actually completely included in the free version. I have not messed with any of them. Why is Stripe connected already? I must have accidentally did that. Ooh, Zapier can actually go through here immediately, so that's cool. But yeah, there are not as many integrations as like Kit has, but it's worth checking out. Like if you have a Discord, if you have a Blue Sky, I don't even know what Arena is. What is danger zone? Oh, that's to get rid of. Oh. Ooh, that's cool. There's a test mode that you can have your real subscribers or whatever, but all of the things are going to go to your email instead of them. Let me show you. That's cool. Good to know. Mark is dormant. Interesting. Yeah. Sorry. I'm getting sidetracked, and we are getting near the end of our session today. So let's take a look at my bonus, which I kind of mentioned this earlier. Bonus is just a real easy, fun, teaching is hard and it's exhausting and it's the summer. So I have this game that I found out about. I think it was my husband likes to watch a lot of YouTubers and it was recommended on there. So this is called Higher or Lower Game, and it's on higherorlowergame.com. And the entire, point of it is that it's going to give you two metrics, two items, two things, and then you have to say which one has the most of it. And it's a variety of things. So I'm going to do geography. And then let's look at populations. And then we're just going to play. Okay. So yeah, between the Dominican Republic and Oman, which one do I think has a bigger population? Let's go with this. Oh, dang. On the first one, I got it wrong. We're going to play again. I'm going to say Bangladesh is bigger. I like that it shows you the population that you tried first. Nicaragua. I'm thinking Bangladesh again. Yes. Okay, Malta. Let's go with Nicaragua. Nice. Okay. But yeah, that's all this game is. While I'm playing, I'll pull up on my other screen to see if anyone had any recommendations for this year, or not this year, sorry, for this newsletter topic, whether anybody has any other options to mention. I'm going to guess Austria has a bigger population. Let's go with Austria again. Oh, dang. Okay, so I got it wrong on 4. So there you go. That is higher or lower. One thing that I maybe didn't mention that I skipped is I just have a couple different newsletters in here that I subscribe to that I really like. I originally had like a list of like 8, and I'm like, this is too much. People do not need those. But the first 2 are actual tech related ones. This top one is published by the platform that I initially wanted to explore because my work uses it. It's called Constant Contact, but it is extremely expensive. It is known for being extremely accessible, one of the most accessible. However, I have tested the 3 that I have recommended today, and as long as you know what you are doing, you can make them accessible. So Top Tech Tidbits is a great, I think it's weekly newsletter that is put out that is focused on accessibility, all forms of accessibility and trending topics in technology. That one is really worth checking out. Because we are Iowa, I recommended iTech's newsletter. If you do not know about iTech is a community of educators that do a lot of what we do at GEG Iowa. They try to foster a experience with each other, collaboration and all of that stuff. So they publish a newsletter every month, and you can subscribe to it. It'll come to your email, but they have lots of good information. Right now, my internet is having problems. But it does look like they also use Constant Contact, which that's a change because I don't think they used to. And then the third one I'm actually mentioning is because there's lots of news these days, this is actually just a news one. If anyone has ever heard of Philip DeFranco, he is a great YouTuber that has a like 30 to 40 minute, every day, news YouTube channel. He posts every day, and I used to follow it religiously, but it's so long, but I still want to keep informed. So this will send you a daily newsletter that you can read within 5 minutes that has the big stuff of the day. It's always 3 articles in the newsletter, so it is a great newsletter to subscribe to. As I was discussing, it does not look like anyone has submitted a resource today. So with that in mind, let's just discuss when we are going to be meeting next, and then I will let you go. So our next meeting is going to be September 17th. So we are not meeting in August, but I will start hosting monthly meetings starting in September. So I will see you guys in September. On September 17th at 7 p.m., there is a link to a, a spreadsheet that has all of our upcoming meetings in there. And this also has information about, like, it'll have direct links to the agenda, has links to the YouTube video, the calendar invite. This also has all of the links for previous agendas. So it has last year's and 2 years ago's information. So that is everything for today. I thank you guys all for joining me, and I hope to see you in September. But otherwise, that's all for today, and I hope to see you guys later. All right, bye-bye. Have a great